I'm one of the most successful businessmen in my country. And the logic behind my business is your success is my success. I became really wealthy and successful by helping people achieve financial freedom. There is no mystery in what I do. And if you doubt it, just search my name on Google right now, Thiago Negro. In this video, I'll help you take your first steps on the road to financial freedom. It's simple. I'll show you 7 strategies to save money. But first, why should you even bother saving money? One day, one of my followers came to me asking for financial advice, and I asked, okay, how much are you able to invest every month? And he said something like, I enjoy my small expenses and I'm not ready to give them up yet, so I can invest about $500 a month. Now check this out. This cousin has an income of about $100,000 a year. He can live well below his means. In fact, a major part of the global population doesn't even have half of his annual income. My point is, if he invests only $500, even if his interest rate reaches 100%, he'll make only $500. But if he invests a bit more, like $1,000, and reaches 100%, he'll make $1,000. Do you guys understand what I mean? That guy could make much more money if he spent a little less. I don't make the rules. Money attracts money. And if you invest more, it will be easier to make more and more and more. Here's another example. It's easier to turn $100,000 into $1 million than it is to turn $1,000 into $100,000. It's harder to turn $1,000 into $100,000, which requires a 9,900% return, than it is to turn $100,000 into $1 million. You need only a tenfold increase for that. So yeah, I'm here to tell you the truth. How much you invest is really important. In your case, perhaps you're not like this particular cousin and you don't have $100,000 annual income, but I want to help you. In fact, I'll teach you how to spend less and have more money in your bank account to investments. And don't forget, if you want to become one of my cousins, it's pretty easy. Just subscribe, like, and comment. Now, let's dive into these strategies. First, make sure you break down your goal. When you set your goal high, like I'll save $500 every month, or I'll save $1,000 every month, or I'll save $3,000 every month, actually, your high goal depends on how much you make. But see, here's the thing. When you set your goal high, it can seem hard to achieve. A better strategy is to break down your goal. Let me show you what that might look like in practice. Let's say if your goal is to save $1,000 every month, make sure you break it down into weekly savings targets. This means you should be aiming to save about $250 each week. Now, to make it even more manageable, you can break the weekly goal down into daily savings targets. For instance, you could be saving approximately $35 each day. This is the part where you should identify daily actions or adjustments that you can make to save that $35. This might include cutting down on dining out, reducing unnecessary subscriptions, or finding more cost-effective alternatives for daily expenses. By breaking down your goal into smaller, more manageable parts, it becomes less daunting and easier to achieve. This approach helps you stay motivated and on track so that you can reach your larger savings goal. Second, add a rewarding touch to your process. Let's be real. Everyone knows that saving money is important, especially in order to become wealthy. It's one of those obvious things. Like, if you want to be an athlete, you must train. If you want to be skinny, you can't eat pizza every day. Obvious things like that. So then, why aren't you saving money? Because it's not that cool in the short term. You see, spending is cooler. So hear me out. Because I actually have the solution. Why don't you add a rewarding touch to the process? Create a reward, exactly like a game. Have you ever played Pokemon on Game Boy or DS? The game starts, and what do? You choose between Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. And after choosing, you enter the tall grass and start battling other Pokemon. Your goal is to defeat others in order to gain XP. The more XP you gain, the more your Pokemon evolves and the stronger it gets. Saving money works in the same way. Instead of battling Pokemon to gain XP, you work and save money. But there is a slight difference though. And what is it? Well, working, saving is usually boring. Battling Pokemon is way more fun. So what do you need to do? Add a rewarding touch to the process. For example, from time to time, when your Pokemon gains enough XP, it evolves. It's the same with money. Save an X amount and create a reward. It could be, for instance, a trip or a gift. If you achieve $10,000, give yourself those Nike sneakers. If you achieve $100,000, give yourself concert tickets. If you achieve $1 million, take a nice trip somewhere. Yes, you can, and you should spend sometimes. The process of saving money can't be torture. But, of course, please don't spend all the money after all that effort to save. Determine the percentage of how much you can spend after achieving your objective, like 10%, 5%, or less. Third, pay yourself first. They've taught you the wrong formula throughout your life. The formula you were taught, what you earn minus what you spend is equal to what's left. Now, the formula I'm about to teach you is what you earn minus what you invest is equal to what you should spend. See, in the first formula, you pay your expenses first. In the second formula, you pay yourself first. Why do you need to pay yourself first? Because humans are not designed to have leftovers. If left to our own devices, you, me, everyone will spend every last cent in our account and come up with an excuse not to invest. So take a look at this study from Cornell University in the US, which states people from different countries consume an average of 92% of everything they put on their plate. In other words, if you go to a restaurant or you fill your plate, but you end up feeling full before finishing your food, what do? Well, most people will finish their meal, even if there's just one spoon full of rice left on their plate. It's the same with money. You will spend everything in your account and still complain that there's never anything left. So, if you only save what's left after spending, you never save anything. Remember, you need to pay yourself first. Prioritize your wallet. And as soon as your salary hits your account, make sure you set aside a portion of it, even if it's just 5%, and live on the rest. Of course, this will require good financial planning on your part, but you can do it. I genuinely believe in your potential. Fourth, invert. Always invert. I didn't come up with this strategy. It was created by Warren Buffett's right-hand man, Charlie Munger. Munger used it to say, invert, always invert. The idea is to buy stocks when no one else wants them, but it also applies to other things. For example, make sure to buy winter clothes in the summer, travel off-season, buy umbrellas on sunny days, buy Christmas gifts in advance, go grocery shopping before or after peak hours, go to the gym earlier or later than most people. When you do things differently, you avoid lines and pay less. Umbrellas are more expensive on rainy days. Traveling in peak season is more expensive. Winter clothes are more expensive in the winter. Buying Christmas gifts on December 24th is more expensive. So don't get caught up in commercial celebrations. Always invert and save money. Fifth, choose being rich, not looking rich. There is one decision you need to make to completely change your life. Decide whether you want to be rich or just look rich. When I was working as a waiter, taking low-quality public transportation every day, my dream was to own a Porsche. One day, after I had made my first million, I was walking with my mom and we passed by a car dealership. Inside, there was this beautiful Porsche. It was the car car of my dreams. I told my mom, look, if I wanted to, I could buy that right now in cash. And it was true. I had the money to buy it. But you see, that didn't make sense to me anymore. You see, my mindset had changed. Having a Porsche was no longer a sign of success to me. When I was younger and had that dream, I just wanted the Porsche to prove to others that I could buy it. But once I could afford it, I started to value the freedom that money provides, not what others would think of me. Many of our dreams are actually things we want to have to show others that we have made it. That trip to Paris, that sporty car, that fancy watch. Always keep in mind that a car, even a Porsche, depreciates as soon as it leaves the dealership. Sneakers wear out. I'm not saying you should give up on having these things and fulfilling your dreams. In fact, I myself recently bought something I really wanted, a fancy watch, Patek Philippe. But see, besides just buying the watch, I know that it doesn't represent a significant expense for me. In fact, it doesn't even represent 0.5% of my wealth. So, when I buy a watch like this, it's equivalent to an average person buying a $400 pair of sneakers. Not to mention, as soon as I left the store, people were already offering me 30% more than what I had paid for it. Sixth, follow the 3-4 questions rule. Do what I'm telling you. Grab your phone with the video playing. Take it over to your closet. Open the closet. Look at everything inside. And I'm sure there's at least one little thing in there that you really wanted to buy. Maybe it's that outfit that didn't quite fit right, or that guitar you bought to learn how to play, but you ended up abandoning it, or that cheap pair of headphones that stopped working 2 weeks later. By the way, leave a comment about something you just bought that you didn't really need and is now collecting dust. Let me explain why this happens. People spend money for two reasons: desire or necessity. Either you really wanted to buy something and went ahead and bought it, or you needed it so badly that it became a necessity, so you bought it. So let's break this down. What it means to spend out of desire versus what it means to spend out of necessity. When it's out of desire, ask yourself these 4 questions. Do I want to buy this? Can I afford this expense? Do I really want to make this purchase now? And is it expensive? So do you want it? Can afford it? Do you want it now? And if it's not too expensive, then buy it. Don't hold back. Now, when it's out of necessity, ask yourself these 3 questions. Do I need to buy this? Do I need to buy it now? And is it expensive? If you follow this logic and get stuck at any of these stages, then don't buy it. But if it passes all the questions, go ahead and buy it. It's that simple. Whenever you're about to make a purchase, always ask yourself these questions. I guarantee you it will save you a lot of money. 7th, search the prices. Guys, this is not the 80s. It's super easy to search for prices now. Let's check out a pair of sneakers on eBay. A pair of Jordan's first retro high OG Chicago. Here's the link. Look at all those prices. You can buy it for $350, $150, or $230. There's so many options, all with authenticity guarantees. You can do this with literally anything you want to buy. Believe me, you will always find a better price. This is actually the best strategy to save money. I'm not even telling you to don't buy what you want. I'm saying the least you can do is search for the best price. And that's the video. I genuinely hope these tips help you save more money. And remember, your success is my success. Bye for now, cousins.